Hey guys, welcome to the video. Hope you're having a great day. So I've got 2 tubes of 35% silver war nickels. Now these are nickels that I have found over the last couple of years while coin roll hunting. And if you have ever seen a war nickel or found one while coin roll hunting, you'll know that they seem to be particularly good at being a dirt magnet. I've got a couple of coins here. One is a war nickel. This one here is a 1964, so it's been rolling around in circulation for over 55 years. Relatively older coin, but you can see that it's still got its shine. It might not have the greatest detail, but it's still got a lot of shine left to it. But silver war nickels oftentimes seem to be a magnet for filth, dirt, and grime. Not saying that that's not just as dirty as this one, but visually you can see the difference here. So I thought it might be fun to take the war nickels that I found, and we're going to pan over here. I'm in my bathroom at the moment. I got a couple of different methods that I'm going to try that I've used before on different types of silver coins. So we're going to use these on the silver war nickels, see which method works best, and then I'm going to clean all of these up and we're going to take a look, obviously see what they look like before, but then see what they look like after as well. So the first method that I'm going to try here that I have used before is Easiest Coin Cleaner. It's for copper, gold, and silver coins. It has a little danger notification. They're harmful if fatal or swallowed. The vapors are harmful. I do have a window open. It is a pretty potent stuff. You don't want to be around it for an extended period of time. But let's see here. It says it instantly removes tarnish and finger marks from uncirculated and proof coins. That is kind of the key there. I'm a little skeptical as to whether this is going to work on this heavily dirt-laden war nickel here, but we'll give it a try. My experience with this is I've used it to clean 90% half dollars before that aren't heavily soiled, that might have some fingerprints or some light tarnish. And if, or maybe they just have kind of that natural oxidized look to them, it will make them shiny again. So again, not real confident that this is going to work that great, but we'll go ahead and give it a try. So let me pop the lid off of this. We got our rubber tongs here and we'll dip a coin and see how it works. All right, I've got my tong and coin in one hand, camera in the other, so I already have the water running and I did stop it up. Just so we don't accidentally drop it in there. And basically you just put it in here for just a couple of seconds. Actually, I'm just going to put it in halfway and see if there's any, and then you rinse it off. You can see there is a slight change, but it's clearly still dirty. We'll go ahead and dunk the whole thing in here. Again, just a couple of seconds, let it set for a moment, and then we'll rinse it off. And we're going to set it over here. And then we're going to pat it dry. And it does look a little bit better, but it definitely did not bring the shine back, and that's typically, or that's basically what I figured would happen. So we have another method here, and this is one that I've used on heavily soiled coins, and it works pretty good. And there's a few different variations of it, but basically it consists of, let me put the cap back on this so we don't spill it. Basically consists of a dish with some aluminum foil, and I've done this before where you boil water with some salt, you put it in here, and then you put the coins in, you sprinkle baking soda on it, and you let it set. Some other methods, you also add vinegar to that salt water and baking soda. I mean, there's a lot of different variations, but one that I found that does work for me is just using hot water, putting in some vinegar and then the baking soda with the coins in there, letting them set, and it almost creates like a paste, as we'll see here in just a moment. But you just let it set there, you give it a rub, and that really seems to work good on that dirt and grime. So let me get this set up here. We'll put a few coins in here And actually, I'll just put a coin in here, and we'll give that a try, see how it works. I'm guessing that's going to work best. Actually, I know it's going to work. And so let me get set up, and we'll show you how this works. All right, so I've got the aluminum foil in there, and the aluminum foil is necessary. I believe it creates a chemical reaction between the vinegar, the baking soda, and you're supposed to put your coin on it, and it will actually attract the tarnish and whatnot on there. I tried to find one. I actually found one that was equally as dirty as the one that we just tried cleaning with the easiest. So this should be a good example. So we'll go ahead. I've already got the aluminum foil in here. We've got the vinegar. Actually, I'll probably put a little bit more vinegar in here, and this is just distilled white vinegar, just enough to cover the bottom. There we go. So we'll set that in there. And then we're just going to take a little bit of baking soda. And we'll put a little bit more on there. You can see the reaction between the baking soda and vinegar. We'll just let that set there. I'm going to let it set for about a minute, and then we'll try cleaning it off. All right, so that sat there for about a minute. I flipped it over. You can see that just in sitting in that it is starting to get that grime off of there. So the next important step is just to give it a little bit of a rub. And it's almost... Let me get some more of the baking soda on it. And what I've found in the past is if you almost make it like a paste and then rub that on there, that's what really starts to shine it up. This one was really heavily soiled. You can see there. Let's see, what's the date on this one? This is a 1943 Philadelphia here. So I'm going to put the camera down, and I'm going to give this a little bit more attention, and I'm going to show you what it looks like all cleaned up. So here is the coin that we just did the vinegar and baking soda on. This is the one that we did the easiest on. You can see that it definitely has a lot more shine to it. Now this was a particularly grimy nickel there. So I think what I'm going to do is, now that we got most of the dirt off of this, I'm going to dip this in the easiest and see how that works. Right now I'm just trying to figure out what the best way is. Maybe a combination of the both will work out. So let me go ahead and dip this and give it a little more cleaning here and see if we can get this a little more cleaned up. Now, this is quite interesting. I just dipped this in the easiest, and you can see it almost made it look more tarnished. The dark spot is there as the part that was dipped in the easiest. I rinsed it off, and it took the shine away, which is pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and dip the rest of this in there. Rinse it off here. That's really interesting. Not at all what I expected to happen. We'll pat it off dry. Boy, and that looks worse than it did before we put it in this stuff here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it back into here and see if we can get that shiny again. Well, I just put that coin back into the vinegar and baking soda solution after dipping it in the easiest, and it seems like it made it even cleaner. So maybe a combination of the both is what I'm going to try here. This was a particularly soiled coin, so you can still see in between the lettering and whatnot, it hasn't gotten all that out of there. I could probably spend a little more time on that, but we won't worry about it too much. But if you look here in comparison, this is just your regular copper-clad coin, you know, that's still got its shine to it. This is the one that we dipped in easiest, and this is the one that we did a combination of both. And you can see, as far as the shine factor goes, the baking soda and vinegar method seem to work the best. So I think that's what we're going to do. Now that we've got that figured out, we're going to go ahead and do the rest of these and get these guys cleaned up. So we are done with the first phase of cleaning these. We just did the baking soda and vinegar, let them soak. I let them set for a while, scrubbed them, even used a toothbrush. Then we rinsed them off with water. I patted them dry, and here is what they look like. For the most part, they look pretty good. Some of these look pretty amazing. And some of them still have some dark patina on them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip these in the easiest, rinse them off, and then we're going to put them back into the vinegar and baking soda one more time because on that sample coin it seemed like it really made it shine even more. So let's do that right now. So here is the before and the after. I had the two tubes. I actually only ended up cleaning one of them, and those are the coins that are here on the right hand side. The process took a little bit longer, and I had some other things. I got kids that I'm taking care of today too. So, but I thought it might be nice. We cleaned up the one, but we've got the before here and the after, and without looking at any of these coins close up, you can definitely tell a difference between the before and the after. Now, we'll look at some of these close up. This is pretty typical here of what these coins look like before they're cleaned up. Let's see if we can get that to focus. There we go. So that's pretty common for a war nickel. You pull one out of a roll, coin roll hunting. This is what most of those looked like. Now, some of them aren't as dirty as this, but this is pretty typical. And I'll tell you what, I was really surprised at how well some of these cleaned up. For example, this one here, if you look at them side by side, that one looks like it came straight from the mint. Again, they didn't all clean up that nice, but I kind of put the nicer ones up top, and as we move down, the ones that didn't quite clean up all of the way, some of these do have, this one looks like it actually had paint on it, so that didn't clean up all of the way, but some of these up here, another one that cleaned up real nice. So the vinegar and baking soda method definitely works. This one's really nice too. It's got a little bit of something still left on there. But the vinegar and baking soda with the aluminum foil really seemed to work out pretty decent. Now, what I ultimately ended up doing after testing the easiest and the vinegar and baking soda and aluminum foil method, I determined that a combination of both is what would work. So basically what I did was I filled up that glass dish, laid down the aluminum foil on the bottom, filled it with some white vinegar, put the coins in, sprinkled baking soda on them, and let it set. And then I took them and I rubbed them a little bit. I even took a toothbrush and scrubbed them a little bit, rinsed them off, and then I dipped them all in the easiest coin cleaner. And then I went back and I put them back in a baking soda and vinegar solution, except this time I made it a little bit thicker, like a paste. And so it was real thick, and I rubbed that on there, and man, it really shined them up. So definitely something that worked out well here. Like I said at the beginning, I would not recommend ever doing this with coins that are actually collectible, or old coins that have value, numismatic or collectible value. These coins here clearly have no collectability, no numismatic value to them whatsoever. I found these are heavily circulated, they're worn, they're nicked, they're dinged. The only value that's contained within these is their silver content. I checked, there's no key dates in there. So doing it on something like this is totally fine. It's just for aesthetics. I thought I would do it. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, just to see how well these dirty war nickels clean up. And as you can see here, did a pretty good job. Another cool thing that I found out after cleaning up one of these coins is this one right here. I actually And I didn't notice this before because, again, it was a coin that looked like this. It's hard to see any sort of detail on it, but I cleaned this one up here. Let's see if we can get this to focus now. There we go. This one actually is a lamination error. And you can see right here, there's a heavy peeling going on in the top there, and you can see the ripples going through the P. So this coin here is heavily delaminating, and that was not something that I noticed before it was cleaned. So that is pretty cool. And since we found that, and I've been in the habit of doing giveaways, I thought, let's do another one. So we're gonna do a free giveaway for this coin right here. It's a 1943 Philadelphia lamination air silver war nickel. So all you have to do is be a subscriber, and leave a comment down below in the comment section of this video, and sometime next week we will use a random comment picker to select a winner. So there you go, guys. Before and after cleaning silver war nickels. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing so that you can stay up to date with all of our newest videos and giveaways. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.